All right, Jackée, we finally get to sit down and chat.
What's happening, Roland?
But how in the hell you gonna come here in these Crocs? Look, my wife is a Croc craze. How many pair of them things you got?
35.
They make that?
Mm-hmm. But I got 3 pair of whites, 4 pair of lime green. You know that Balenciaga?
Why? What? I don't understand. My daddy and my wife, they love, they some Croc fanatics. I don't understand.
You ain't got to.
What are they?
They comfy. You know, COVID Crocs.
No, don't even try. You know,
I blame everything on COVID.
Everything?
Everything.
Everything on COVID?
Everything. I'm blaming everything on
Just so
COVID.
y'all know, the first thing she said was, I don't know why she said it. First thing Jackée said was, she said, don't show my feet. Why she say that? She knew I wasn't even gonna bring up your feet or the Crocs. But it's like if you say something, that's why when I do interview, people say, like when they publicists come to me, they said, can you not discuss this? And I look at them like, you know I'm gonna discuss this.
Nobody cares.
Because I'm like, look, you just asking me. That's like the person who go, don't take my photo. Snap, click. What's happening?
You. Welcome to LA again.
Yeah, always good to be here. Actually, you came ready to dip your feet in the pool if you wanted to. So
yeah, that was it.
Throw them off, boom.
Yeah, that part, yeah.
So what you been doing? How have you been dealing with COVID? And because it's different.
I handle it in layers, you know, hatred, disgust, loneliness, eating, sleeping, you know. What's the new craze now? Not bathing. Y'all was doing that before. So they lying. But I'm in another place now. It is what it is, and deal with it accordingly. Just have some common sense. Common sense is key. You know, but I don't want to speak for nobody, you know, why they do what they do in terms of anything to do with vaccinations, because ignorance is ignorance, you know. But,
well, you know, you got a whole bunch of Google physicians out here. You know, folks who went to YouTube medical school for about 12 minutes, now dispensing advice. And I'm sitting there going, now you know we ain't listening to you.
I know, but you know, you got to take advice from everywhere. So you take bits and pieces.
No, I tell them, so Tank and I were going at it on social media.
Tank.
Because, and he was
You mean
like,
the singer Tank?
Right.
He sure is fine.
And I was like,
I didn't know he was that fine. Now, why you bring him up? Go ahead.
Because he was supposed to be talking about vaccinations and
I
stuff.
met him one time.
Oh, really?
I don't know him, but I met him at a restaurant, in a hotel with his wife.
Oh,
thank God. I gotta add that part. A
Oh,
hotel
right.
with his wife.
So you didn't accost him, but you thought about it.
We were at a buffet. No, I didn't know him, but I was like, oh, he look all right. Then he took his shirt off. I went, oh, he look all right. So, but he was nice and he was a gentleman. He was with his wife. Did I say that? Let me say that again.
Yes,
with his wife.
You said that.
Yeah.
Sitting there accosting people.
Yeah.
So he and I went at it. So he was like, so you think you know everything? I said, well, no. I said, but what I can tell you this, I said, ain't nobody else had more than 100 black scientists and doctors on their show in the last year. So if you find somebody who's talked to more black doctors than me, let me know.
That's right. You were with just Neil, the moon doctor, I call him.
Oh, but look, with this
Tyson,
stuff,
that's his name.
With this stuff here, I keep telling everybody, I'm a firm believer in talking to black experts, black scientists, black doctors. So can't nobody say, well, you know, where our people? No, because we got a whole bunch of our folks who's smart who can let you know what's going down.
And we was Obama before Obama became president. We had Obamas everywhere. I tell them that we got plenty of candidates. Plenty.
Way before that. Way before
yes,
that. Way before
it's
that.
true. We got them now. It's true.
So I got to ask you this here. I've heard you talk about this. So how often, especially with non-melanated people, that's what Jane Elliott calls them. So how often do they confuse you with Kim Whitley and Jennifer Lewis?
Never Jennifer.
Really?
No, we don't look alike, but Kim looks like me.
Yeah, what? Don't look alike, but both y'all loud.
Yeah, but she's a stand-up comedian and she does a different thing, you know, but...
Jennifer crazy.
Yeah, but Jennifer looks different.
Right.
Yeah, but Kim, you know, for years, you know, but Hey.
Have you ever had somebody try to book you thinking you're Kim?
No, she's taken jobs where they said we want a Jackée type,
Jackée type.
and they hire her.
So you like, Kim, send that check this way.
No, no, she is paid less.
You ain't got no sense. So what are you working on? So what are you, because it's very interesting. A lot of people, I get this all the time, people are like, well, I don't see so-and-so, but they act like there's so many more options. People have no idea what people are working on, but they assume that if I don't see you, on this network or that network, folks just dropped off the radar. When now with streaming services, with Broadway, off Broadway, with independent movies and projects, and now you got more black cable networks. I mean, the opportunities, frankly,
are slim.
Are slim, but have expanded because it used to be slimmer.
Mm-hmm. But they've expanded for veterans, which is what I am, a veteran.
Right.
Which means old, but also it means seasoned. I've been out here a long time. I'm doing a soap opera now called Days of Our Lives. I've been on there a while, playing a not so nice woman. I just came from there today and wreaked havoc, and I'm loving it.
Now, did you ever want to do a soap opera?
I did it before, Another World. I did it years ago with Joe Morgan Freeman, called Another World. It's the funk now, but that's how I started in TV. My first job. My very first TV job.
Joe Morton and Morgan Freeman were on a soap opera?
Together. Yes,
wow.
I know. Oh, I loved it. But it was a black storyline. Huge cast, People from New York, Michelle Shea, Petronia Paley. I'll mention their names because they were there before me, and I got there. I played a prostitute. I was real raw. My name was Lily Mason. I was a hoe on Tuesday, and I owned the town 2 weeks later. that's how they do you.
Right, that's how soap opera.
You evolve, yeah.
Right.
So now I'm on this, but I'm rich right from Jump Street. So
you're not playing a hoe this time?
No. I got it going on. I'm the pimp. You know what I mean? But it's wonderful because it's almost like full circle. And people go, oh, you're doing the soap? Yeah, I'm working. That's what I put it. But I always say, you hustle till you die.
Well, it's interesting because I interviewed Richard Lawson, and he said that his agent recommended he do a soap opera, and he was offended, and he said he fired the agent. And then he said they had the writer's strike in '91, and then when they offered to do All My Children, and he said he did it, and he said, and he was walking down the street, and people were like, hey man, that's the brother of All My Children. And he said, so here he had this one view of, oh no, soaps are the lowliest things in the world.
Yes.
And then he said, but so many people, he said black people watch their stories.
That's right.
And he said, and it changed his perspective because of how the audience reacts.
Respond, absolutely. But it keeps you current as what's happening now, and I got social media, huge social media platform, probably bigger than yours. But
we can check now. See, since you want to be little
Twitter, Instagram, Facebook for people over 50. But I don't care.
No, baby, I'm on all platforms, so it don't even matter. I'm on all of them. Let's say Jackée. Okay, Jackée got 400. This Jackée has 434,400 Twitter followers. That's cute. Roland has 612,000. Let me go on over here to Instagram. Let me see here.
You're not supposed to outshine the guests.
No,
I'm the guest.
No, you said I probably got more than you.
I do.
We can roll the tape. Let's see.
That's lies.
Jackée, let's see here.
That's lies.
What's your Instagram handle?
I ain't telling you.
Let me see, Jackée. Hold up, Jackée. Let's see, Jackée. Oh, I wasn't even following you on Instagram. I know you on Instagram. Follow back.
You know who got me on Instagram? The twins, Tia and Tamara Mowry.
Really?
When we was doing Sister in 1993, I said, why? And Eva Marcel. I said, why you want me to do it? They said it keeps you current and relevant. Just like that. And I was like, who cares? I don't want anybody in my business. You want everybody in your business.
Now you want to be in your business.
That's right.
Now, this nice. You got 454,000 Instagram followers.
And a lot of people don't do it, especially older people. And by that I mean they don't want to do it because they said it's too much trouble. I said you got to get somebody to help you, of course, and you got to know the lingo. You know lingo.
Right. No, that's. I mean,
don't want no FOMO. You know what that is? Fear of missing out, baby.
That's a nice 454,000. I got 618,000. I'm saying, hold up, let me see. You probably, let me see how you doing over here on Facebook.
Facebook is different.
Let me see.
Facebook is truly just for me.
Oh,
I go hunting on Facebook.
Oh, Jackée, y'all got 912,244 followers on Facebook. Oh,
I go hunting on Facebook.
Oh,
you know what that means, don't you?
What's that mean?
I go looking for men.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm just checking. I see
and
you.
friends and old friends. Actually, old boyfriends, old husbands.
All right, 900 and I go ahead. I got 1.3 million. But
you can't help yourself. You're supposed to beef up the guests and make me feel good.
You were like, Shopper, I got more than you.
No, I said I had more than you.
You said I have more, so I had to do a fact check.
So I was wrong.
So you know, like I had debates on my show, people say stuff, and then we have to fact check it, and so.
You've been doing that for years.
Well, come on, you know. I can't let folk just say stuff.
You could let me let that go. You could let that go.
I could have. Hey, Henry, should I let that go?
Yes.
No,
you should have kept on going.
I wasn't gonna let that go.
Next topic. But anyway, current and relevant is the key to social media.
She got more than
now you're not being current and relevant. Can we continue?
I'm being current and relevant. I'm giving the audience the updated information.
Good. Keep it coming.
Because y'all know if I had said, oh yeah, you do have more than me. She's like, I told you.
That's right.
Oh, see, so you'd have been showing out.
I wouldn't have said all that. I'm not loud like that. I would have been like, I'm subtle now. I'm subtle.
Jackée,
I got more class now.
You ain't never been subtle in your life.
Okay, subtle.
Hold up. First of all, you ain't never heard me say I'm subtle. Now, I know I don't know who you think you talking to. You ain't never.
I'm trying to have some class.
When the last time you been subtle? In the womb? You wasn't even settled in. You were loud in the womb.
No, until I got 14. I was a shy girl.
Oh, you were shy?
Till I was about 16. I met a boy who was very nice to me and turned me out, but not sexually, but my mind. He opened up my mind. Yeah, and I went to acting lessons in New York with Henry Street Settlement, Woody King down on the Lower East Side, and Dick Anthony Williams taught me, the late great, taught me everything I know, and Bill Dukes. I got acting lessons and I came out of my shell, but I was very, very shy.
That was a long time ago.
About 16, something turned on, and it never turned off.
Right, ain't turned off.
Never, and thank God, right? So I'm not shy in that regard.
Right.
You know, and I'm not afraid. I don't have stage fright, none of that. But I do have anxiety, and not to do with, I'm not gonna blame that on COVID. It has to do with, I don't know. They said when you get older, you start getting it, but it comes from more empathy. I become more empathetic, and I never had that. See, that's deep.
But that's what causes anxiety?
Yes, because you care about you. I see homeless people, and I always want to help. But now, when I see people actually acting out, I don't go, "Oh, what's that fool doing?" or nothing like that. It's automatically, "How can I help? What did they go through?" You know, which is for me is very different. I never used to think that. We're from New York. You know, we call them bums. They out here, they're homeless, but now it's different. People really are mentally challenged. So now I'm empathetic, and I've evolved into this human being, so I feel more, you know, without wanting to. You know, I would love to just go, but I can't.
Don't wait till November 8th. We can vote today, y'all. Early vote started this week.
We're on Savannah State University's campus. We will be dorm storming today, giving out treats for everyone. We hope to see everyone at the polls when it comes to November.
If you believe we got power, let them know. Make some noise. Put a fist up. I need to see a fist in the air because we got power. Come on, you put it up. Come get your shirt. We're out here in the streets of Savannah, Georgia. James, do not forget to go vote. I got you. If we vote the right people in, we can make a change. We can get these resources in our community.
I am a woman, and it is important that we have the say-so of what we want to do with our bodies.
We're concentrating on entrepreneurism, providing young people with resources and training that they need in order to change their trajectories. We want Black down. Democracy's on the ballot. Voting rights is on the ballot. Voting suppression is on the ballot. I am most passionate about those three combined because they all impact each other.
Savannah is my home. I care about my community, and I care about representation in my community.
Our voices are still going to be heard no matter what kind of obstacles try to come up against us to stop us from voting. We're still going to be standing our ground.
I see the effort that's being made to keep our communities from voting. So that makes me realize it's even more important, because if it wasn't important, they wouldn't be fighting to make sure we could vote.
This doesn't stop this year. This is a forever movement.
We're going to exert our power as a people, walk in our rightful place. We're going to change our communities, fight for our communities, and build our communities.
There are 5 movies that are on my list of all-time black cult classics that if you have not seen, you cannot come back to my show. Like literally. You cannot come back to my show. I've had people on my show, conversation come up, and I would say, have you seen Colyar? If they say no, I'm like, you are not allowed. I will snatch black cards. Car Wash is one of those 5. You're playing Abdullah.
Yes.
You playing, and you play, and that is, and so same thing. That. Why do you think Car Wash is also iconic? Why?
Well, I think one, the great Michael Schultz, great director, great human being. But at that time, you know, I don't even think I was acting, man. I was that angry.
Really?
I think.
Because, man, you would feel rage in that movie.
Well, you know, at that time.
What year was that? That was, Car Wash was?
70.
I'll look it up, don't worry about it.
Was it? 78, 79?
I'll look it up. Keep going.
Isn't that amazing? Is that amazing that you can do that right now?
That's right.
Do you know that I had one of the first cell phones? You know how big it was?
That sucker was the size of a boulder.
You remember that?
Man, that was a brick.
I thought I was so cool.
You could hold a steel door open with that phone.
It's the truth, man.
That bad boy there was Car Wash, released October 22nd, 1976.
76.
That was 3 weeks. That was 2 weeks before the presidential election. So when y'all, so that was released. So you shot that obviously before. So you say, so you were angry.
It was the context of the times. You know, there were rioting, there was anger, there was a lot of things, and I felt a lot of Abdullah, the character, and I think that's why Michael casted me. He knew me as a friend, because we were at the Negro Ensemble Company together, and when I was at NYU School of the Arts, he was there too, and I think he knew that I felt that human being, and that's why he hired me to do it, you know, but I just thought the writing in it, the directing in it, and the people in it, Antonio Fark, you know, the Pointer Sisters, Richard Pryor scene, George Carlin, that supporting cast of people, Danny DeVito. It was kind of a conglomerate of good folks, you know.
But you also had you also had this cultural. I mean, you had the gay folks, you had Native Americans,
right? You
had the Jewish son and the owner. You had. I mean, so you had a melting pot of a movie in 1976. And I didn't realize until I saw one of the retrospectives that because it aired on NBC, that it was too black for him. That there were more. They made Michael put more of the white characters in the TV version than was in the movie version. And they said, "No, that's too black."
Really, I did not know that.
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't know that.
I actually saw retrospective. So if you watch the TV version, you see all these white characters that were not actually major parts in the movie.
Wow.
He did a retrospect, and Michael said, and I've been sitting down interviewing Michael. And he said, yeah, that they were like, no, that the movie was too black.
Wow.
And they had to whiten it for it to air on network television.
That's the reality. In those days, it was. I don't think people really understand the evolution of things, you know? What we came from to where we are today, and all of the obstacles that were faced at that time. Because I think young people today just think this is the way it always was. When we came up, there was no internet. There was no social media. There were no real self. You remember those?
See, this here, but when the movie, when Car Wash came out, you also were, King Gets Killed, because you write about it in your book, Bill Duke, My 40-Year Career on Screen and Behind the Camera. King gets killed in '68. This movie only comes out 8 years after King's assassinated.
That's right.
So, that's also, I think, people don't realize. So the times operating in, which also made it a lot different. You were talking about, again, those moments. And I want you to talk about, because you write about it in the book, where you talk about, the section is called The Business. Most people focus on the show, but neglect the business.
Yes.
How do you have to learn that? What was there something that where was there a point where you were focused on the show and not the business, and if something happened where you went, oh, hold up, I better understand the business of the business?
I came up in New York as a stage. I wrote plays and for the stage and directed my own plays, etc. Went through that whole process and became an actor in New York and NYU School of the Arts, and had a good acting career, etc. And I was always interested in directing film, but I was intimidated by the cameras, the lights, the size of the crews and everything. And so I was just like, was afraid to do all that. I was in a TV show called Palmerstown, USA.
Oh, no, say that.
Palmerstown, USA.
Yeah, it's on CBS.
Yes.
Yes.
Norman Lear.
No, I remember. I watched the show.
And Alex Haley.
Yes. No, I remember the show.
Yeah, 2 seasons. And I thought I had made it.
It was like set in the South.
Yes.
Yeah, because I remember.
Black family
I remember
and
you
white
wearing
family.
overalls.
That's right, black family and white family.
No, I remember. Yes.
And I thought, hey, a TV series, da-da-da-da. After the series was canceled, I did not work for 2 years.
Wow.
And that's when I said, I think I better get over my fear of directing so I have other options. And that's when I went to the American Film Institute and started my directing training there. And so that's, that was a light bulb for me.
Mm-hmm. See, that's the point that you just made there was interesting. Tashina Arnold, I saw her speak here at an event in LA, and she said it was 10 years when Martin got canceled, where she got another sitcom. And she said, here I'm thinking, hit show, whatever. She said it was a decade between Martin and Everybody Loves Chris. She said 10 years.
10 years. Wow. You have to have, how can I say, those are not painless times, because people think rejection, or you just get over it, right? But you don't, man. They say don't take it personally, but when you're rejected and rejected and rejected and rejected and rejected,
right,
something happens. And so to survive that, I mean, you have to have tenacity, reinvent yourself, self-worth, because what they're saying is that you're not worthy, you're not worth anything. And so you can't believe that, but I'm just simply saying it hits you. 10 years is a long time not to work, man. That's a long time.
When you talk about blackness and what happens in black culture, we're about covering these things that matter to us, speaking to our issues and concerns.
This is a genuine people-powered movement.
There's a lot of stuff that we're not getting. You get it, and you spread the word.
We wish to plead our own cause. Too long have others spoken for us. We cannot tell our own story if we can't pay for it. This is about covering us. Invest in black-owned media. Your dollars matter. We don't have to keep asking them to cover our stuff. So please support us in what we do, folks. We want to hit 2,000 people, $50 this month, raise $100,000. We're behind 100,000, so we want to hit that. Y'all money makes this possible. Check some money orders. Go to P.O. Box 57196, Washington, D.C. 20037-0196. The Cash App is $RM Unfiltered. PayPal is R Martin Unfiltered. Venmo is RM Unfiltered. Zelle is Roland at RolandSMartin.com. What would you love to do that you haven't done? That it is, you're like, I want to do that. I want to.
Yeah. Okay.
Is it a movie? Is it a documentary? Is it a, what is it where you like?
Okay, so that's a good.
I want to do that.
Yeah. So that's a really good question. That's part of what I love about this business. It's the surprise at the bottom of the Cracker Jack box. I didn't know that I would get to play Malcolm X and Ali with Will Smith, and that my daughters would get to play Malcolm's daughters, that I would get to work with Malcolm's daughter to humanize her dad, and that my father had interviewed Malcolm X when he was in France and my dad was a journalist. That was a surprise at the bottom of the Cracker Jack box. I often don't know. When they brought New Jack City to me, I wanted to make it, I said, oh, okay, it kind of read like a Black Scarface. I wanted to make sure that it read more like a multi-culti Untouchables, because I knew that crack is a killer in our community today, so I couldn't just have the wholesale glorification of the crack dealer. So if you wanted kids to say no in our community, you had to have role models to say yes to. So against, Judd Nelson and Chris Rock and myself and, Ice-T, of course, you had role models to say yes to. So I didn't know that I would do that. I didn't know you'd call me for this interview. So part of what I love is that I don't know. Now, there are other things that I'm a fan of. I want to do the story of my parents, free thinker. I'd love to do something on Egypt. I've always been interested in the pharaohs. I'm interested in the true Africa, the West Africa. I've got a lot of West African blood. Do you know what I mean? When you met me doing Roots, part of the fun of that was not doing slavery, was doing empowered people and showing that part. That was something that I've been interested in. But every day, brother, I'm exposed to things and I go, I get excited about things that I never thought of. I was recently asked to act in something that I may do about one of the early civil rights workers, Harry T. Moore and his wife, Harriet Moore, who were the Bonnie and Clyde of civil rights and social justice way before, other folks got on board, and they were true to it, not new to it. So I find things every day, brother, and that's the cool thing. And you know what? Now that my kids are big and they don't need me the same way, I'm more of a manager versus, I'm more of a consultant, less of a manager in terms of the parenting of it all. I can do what I want because I can take different risks now, and I'm not a materialistic cat. So part of what I love, brother, is that I don't always know where I'm going to end up next. I just did the Wu-Tang Clan series, so I was the producer director on that. Got to work with RZA. And then I did the Raising Kanan, which is a spin-off of Power. So I'll work this technology, work that, learn something over here, and get in where I fit in. Sometimes I'm just directing, sometimes I'm just acting, sometimes I'm writing, sometimes I'm doing all of the above. Playing my father, I didn't really know that I would wind up doing that. Playing my father in Badass was a great experience, man. So.
See, I think you used the word just a moment ago when you said excitement. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing that that I try to convey to people. It's not a job. It's not a career. It's still the excitement of the craft. You take a singer, who is not caught up in, will it hit the top 5 on Billboard? But they still enjoy the craft. They still enjoy grabbing that camera and looking through that viewfinder, or they still enjoy writing. And that's the thing that I try to convey to people. They say, man, I watch you, and man, you were carrying the tripod and you were shooting? And I go, yeah. Because there still is the joy of, man, I love that shot. Or, oh, look at the use of the LED lights. And the color in the background, and oh man, that's why I try to explain to people, when you know you're truly doing what you want, when just getting that shot, that drone shot, or that jib, that still brings you joy. Mm-hmm. That's loving the craft.
Yeah, yes, it is. And to me, it also it reverberates, it echoes. I'll give you a case in point. It was a brother that stopped me and my dad. We were walking down the street. He had long silver dreads, and he had his son with him. And he said, Van Peebles, excuse me. And we both turned around. And he said, I have to tell you both that I'm a fan. I'm not a groupie, but I'm a fan. And sometimes I go to the films and I'm entertained. That's a good thing. Sometimes I go to movies and I learn something, and that's a good thing. And sometimes, rarely, I come out of a movie proud to be a black man. And with your movies, I get all three. The echoes.
Right.
When people say, when you see, there's a big difference, Roland, between being recognized and being appreciated. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Kim Kardashians are recognized. Appreciated, that's a whole different thing, man.
Last question for you. When we think about where we're going, there are a ton of people doing content. There are people, everybody name I want to be doing content, producing, and you got podcasts and all, everybody wants to be doing. What do you tell them about the responsibility that they have and how they use it?
Well, see, that's a tricky one, Ro, because I realize that the only one that can take that advice is myself. So there are a lot of films that I see get made that I go, why would you do that? When we finally have the keys to the kingdom, when we have the means to production, why would we say that about ourselves? You know what I mean? I remember once I was in Italy, I went into a nightclub, and it was all Italian folks, cool, and I was from some film festival or something, and the DJ looked over at me, and he did, one of those things, and I said, oh shit, here we go. And he put on some rap thing about bitches and hoes and shooting niggas, and they all start singing along. And it makes you wonder, you go, man, why do we want to say that about ourselves, man? It's like, Paul Robeson asked a beautiful question where he says, if we buy into the values, the zeitgeist of those who would buy and sell us as a people, what have we become? Mm-hmm. And so I would say, be very careful to not just buy into stuff and say,
right.
The colonizer said this. Here's the thing. We know racism, for me, racism is next door to sexism. If you repress over color, you're going to repress over sex. If you repress over sex, you're going to repress over class. If you repress over class, one day you're going to be destroying Mother Nature herself. It's all related. That bully colonizer mentality is death to the planet, man. Mm-hmm. And as black folks, we have to really stop and say, wait a minute. This gave them cancer, but our folks knew how to use baking soda as deodorant and not put aluminum under your arms. We had that ancient wisdom. We original people. We know how to do this. Do you know what I mean? We had those remedies. Do you know? We had those healing abilities. So I would say, try not to just buy into wholesale into the colonizer's point of view of success. Success is that you can call me and we can talk amongst folks that look like us, for us, by us. If other people want to leave, I didn't have to leave any of me at the doorstep.
Right.
No one's telling me what to say or not say. That's success. That's free speech.
Right.
You feel me? That's success to me. Now, I'd rather be that than some cat that's locked up, can't do this, can't say that. And hell, success to me as a filmmaker, all I can do is put on one pair of pants at a time. So I don't need 100 different clothes. You feel what I'm saying? So success to me is the creative freedom to do and say what I want to say. And so I would say to the young brothers and sisters coming up is that examine your message, examine what you think your ideas are. And before you pick up that microphone, make sure you got something to say. And if you don't, then shut up. And if you do, let us hear it.
Make sure you got something to say.
Hey, something to say, man.
We'll leave it there. My man, I appreciate it.
Don't wait till November 8th. We can vote today, y'all. Early vote started this week.
We're on Savannah State University's campus. We'll be dorm storming today, giving out treats for everyone. We hope to see everyone at the polls when it comes to November.
If you believe we got power, let them know. Make some noise. Put a fist up. I need to see a fist in the air because we got power. Come on, you put it up. Come get your shirt. We're out here in the streets of Savannah, Georgia. James, do not forget to go vote. I got you. If we vote the right people in, we can make a change. We can get these resources in our community.
I am a woman, and it is important that we have the say-so of what we want to do with our bodies.
We're concentrating on entrepreneurism, providing young people with resources and training that they need in order to change their trajectories. We want Black down.
Democracy is on the ballot. Voting rights is on the ballot. Voting suppression is on the ballot. I am most passionate about those three combined because they all impact each other.
Savannah is my home. I care about my community, and I care about representation in my community.
Our voices are still going to be heard no matter what kind of obstacles try to come up against us to stop us from voting. We're still going to be standing our ground.
I see the effort that's being made to keep our communities from voting. So that makes me realize it's even more important, because if it wasn't important, they wouldn't be fighting to make sure we could vote.
This doesn't stop this year. This is a forever movement.
We're going to exert our power as a people, walk in our rightful place. We're going to change our communities, fight for our communities, and build our communities.
When I listen to the horror stories, when I talk to people, and they talk about, stuff they've gone through, and also I'm very, I'm so observant to this as well, because being in a lot of dressing rooms before show or after show. And like one of the things, and it's just sort of just how I think. It's just sort of like, so yesterday we're going through, and this is partly hearing my dad, my mama's voice. Then it was partly being an owner.
Yeah.
We're going through the kitchen. I was like, why are there 7 unopened, unfinished water bottles? I said, there's 4 people here. And it's like, they're like, man, what are you bitching about? It's like, it's 7, how about you finish a bottle of water? Throw it away.
All your crew are laughing right now.
Open another one. But again, though, what people understand is when you are a CEO, you're like, why we are buying 3 cases of water when we could have bought 2? It's just one of those things that it is so, like, I am like that with gear. I'm like that because, again, when it's, the company got it. Oh, right. The label got it.
Exactly.
And it's like, no.
Yeah.
And it's like, I am like, it is so crazy that how I think that way, but that's the reality of an owner.
Absolutely.
How you see certain things, you like, no, that costs that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. All that adds up for real. Oh, the company's got it. Oh, y'all got it. They're going to take care of it.
What was the story you said?
So that's what they said to me. I kept saying, what do you need? What do you need during the tour? Oh,
because you said you were sending someone to go buy some fabric.
In Paris. Whatever. I lost my mind. Go get me some fabric because I need some clothes made. So they're just,
And they go, okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Sheila sending me to Paris, absolutely. Okay, I'm going to go. They go and they come back with all this expensive
stuff. Plane.
Hotel. Per diem. Food, even on top of the per diem. Paying for everything, transportation, all of that stuff. And then all of the fabric and then coming back. And then I get all of these things made. And they kept saying, what else do you need? What do you want? We got you. We got you. We'll take care of it. Not a problem.
Right.
Don't worry about it.
Not a problem. Don't worry about it. 3 of the most dangerous, don't worry about it's 4. The dangerous, those are the 2 of the most dangerous phrases. When somebody say, no, I got it. No.
No, it's bad. No, that was a big lesson because seriously, at the end of being out on tour for a year and a half, 98 something shows, or 98 shows plus, I mean, I was $990,000 in debt. You might as well say it's $1 million. $1 million in debt. After being on tour, working my butt off, I had to pay that back. I actually ended up owing way less than that because they were double charging me because I said, this don't sound right. I know I didn't spend that much money.
Because what did you say? You said
I had them audited.
You said that was an accountant.
Yep.
That Prince really liked, and he was jacking everybody, and you were like, no. Go on back and check his math. And you like Prince really liked him so much he didn't get rid of him, or something like that. You said on the cruise.
It was. I mean, you have people that you trust on tour, and you're knowing that they're going to do the right thing, you know. And it's just everybody was shocked, because I kept saying I'm paying this bill and it keeps going up. It's not moving and it's going up.
Right.
And it doesn't make sense, and I can't be. And so my attorneys and I, we were talking. I said, let's audit. And they're like, what do you think Prince is going to say? I was like, I don't care. I'm not paying. I shouldn't be paying.
You're like, something ain't right.
It's not right. I don't care what. No. So I told him, I went up to him, I said, I think your boy is double charging me. And we had the same accountant. All of it was in-house.
Right.
He's like, nah, he wouldn't do that. I said, He goes, nah. I said, okay, well, I'm going to audit him. He goes, no, you're not. I said, yes, I am. So my attorney came, we audited him. Sure enough, the whole thing blew up. He was taking money from Prince, millions and millions. And Prince felt bad. I mean, he was hurt. And at the same time, it was, they didn't want to say who it was, and he didn't want him to go to jail. So he didn't. And that was very kind of him.
But you will give my money back.
But I'm not paying y'all this.
Right, I ain't paying y'all.
Yeah.
See, I am.
And that's the thing, don't be afraid for people. You can't be afraid to ask questions.
Right.
You can't be afraid to stand up for what you think might be right. And if you're wrong, it's okay, but you can't later on go, I should have said something. Now, you know.
Yeah, no.
It has to be okay for you to stand up in who you are.
I was, it was like I was reading Dane Cook. His half brother stole millions from him and was giving false statements and all kind of stuff. His half brother and his half brother's wife, they were just ripping him off. And I was sitting there and I was like, okay, I don't understand how that happened. And I said, because somebody asked me, they said, well, you know, when you own a company, you're trusting people. I said, oh, let me be real clear with you. I said, I remember reading a book, one of the books on Motown. And when Berry Gordy went to his family to ask them to fund the latest vision, like his sister was like, hell no. His ass, he ain't responsible. He ain't shit. No, because they had a whole family. How they would pool resources.
Yeah.
And then it's okay. We're gonna fund this here. And then she was like, "Oh hell no!" She was like adamant. And and the mom and daddy were like, "Okay, we're gonna give him a shot." She was like, "Hell no! He ain't done nothing with his life. He done skipped jobs. We ain't giving him nothing." And he said when he created Motown, hell, he put her in charge of the money. He was like, well, if she's that damn stingy, not giving me money, she gonna protect my money too. And she did. And so I told him, I said, so when I pull up the app right now, I got 6 accounts. My personal account, other 5. I don't even know what's in the personal account. My wife pay bills. That ain't what I do.
Yeah.
I know them other 5. Mm-hmm. And I'll open up and I'll be like, this is 1380, what is that? I don't recognize. I'll go through. They'll get a text message from me, and I'm like, why haven't I seen the P&L statement for the last 2 months? I need the P&L statement. No, don't send me that spreadsheet. I want the P&L statement. I want the detailed one. I don't want to see no categories. I want to see category number. I want to see what's under that category. They were like, Roland, I said, no.
But that's what you have to do. I mean, I remember, and part of that lesson is, taking charge of your own. It's your responsibility to do that. Regardless of who's working with you, you still have to watch them. You still have to watch them.
Yeah.
And I remember
even family.
Yeah, and Oprah saying, I sign every check, and I'm like, that's a good idea. So I do. Ever since I heard her say that, I sign every check. I look at it. I know what my account says.
Don't nobody approve invoices but me.
Nope, can't, nothing. There's no check.
I cussed out my niece. My dad. Sheila, I'm not lying. My dad, she's the first niece and nephew. So you know how grandparents are. So my dad called me. He was like, son, can you not cuss? I said, no, hell no. I said, Dad, I said, first of all, Daddy, this is business. This ain't family. I said, she called somebody into the office to come work on a computer who I now have to pay. All her ass had to do was call an 800 number, they would have walked her through. I said, so, yeah, I cussed out. I said, look, this business. He was like, okay, son. But I was like, no. I said, I need you to understand. And then I was kind of like, look, this impacts your retirement. So I had to put it in the way for him to quite understand. I was like,
he understood that.
Right, impact your retirement. Let's be real clear. I can't pay for some stuff for you. See where that money went? So I had to go ahead. I had to go ahead and do that. But I really do. I really do love talk when I'm talking to people who understand when you're trying to build something.
Yeah.
Too many folks are so focused on the creative without understanding that, that's actually what allows you to continue to be creative. Because otherwise, now you're stressed. Now you're in a hole. Now you're trying to sit here. You can't afford this. And so now you have to do something that's actually outside of what your gifting is. Because you were not sitting here.
If you take care of the business first, then it's easier to record or create or whatever you're going to do. Business is set like, it's done, I can do whatever. You're not thinking about it. You start creating like, how are we going to work this out? I've been in that position many times. Oh, shoot. Okay, we got to figure this out because we've already done it. Now what do I do? Now
you're stressed. Now your focus is completely off. You're absolutely right. For me, I am, because it's sort of like when I had a friend of mine, he told me, he said, Roland, deficit financing. I said, dude, I ain't dealing with that. And I said, look, I get your point. I get how companies use debt. And he's like, well, it's about leveraging. I said, I ain't trying to deal with no debt. I said, I want to be able to wake up and go, that's paid for. I said, I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah.
I said, I want to have my mind completely, I am not trying to take a portion of my brain to go, how are we managing debt?
Right. Sure.
And he's like, okay, I get it. Because I said, dude, I said, I'm sorry. I said, I know what I need. I said, when I go to sleep and when I wake up, how my brain works. And I said, because I have complete freedom to think. I said, nothing is getting in the way. I'm not sitting here. I'm not worrying about the mortgage. I'm not worrying about the car note. I'm like, because everything's paid for.
Mm-hmm.
So now I am freed up.
Absolutely.
I can just walk through life every day. And now it's kind of like, okay, I'm going to do this here.
Right.
I'm going to do this here. And actually, I gave a speech when I said that, I said, debt is slavery without shackles.
Mm-hmm.
Because it impacts your other decisions.
Oh, absolutely.
It impacts where you go, what you do, your freedom, and, oh, you know what, I'm gonna experiment on this. I said, it all impacts that.
Well, they definitely promote that if you're in debt, you get more. So, you know, you gotta build your credit by being in debt. So that, I'm telling you.
Oh, I know. I was like, hold up. I paid everything off. How the hell my credit score is? Oh, but you need to do a credit line. I said, no, hell no, we ain't doing it.
Because you don't owe anything, your credit's bad.
Which is the dumbest thing in the world. Of all the people who should have great credit, is somebody who don't owe anybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't wait till November 8th. We can vote today, y'all. Early vote started this week.
We're on Savannah State University's campus. We will be dorm storming today, giving out treats for everyone. We hope to see everyone at the polls when it comes to November.
If you believe we got power, let them know. Make some noise. Put a fist up. I need to see a fist in the air because we got power. Come on, you put it up. Go get your shirt. We're out here in the streets of Savannah, Georgia. James, do not forget to go vote. I got you. If we vote the right people in, we can make a change. We can get these resources in our community.
I am a woman, and it is important that we have the say-so of what we want to do with our bodies.
We're concentrating on entrepreneurism, providing young people with resources and training that they need in order to change their trajectories. We want Black down.
Democracy is on the ballot. Voting rights is on the ballot. Voting suppression is on the ballot. I am most passionate about those three combined because they all impact each other.
Savannah is my home. I care about my community, and I care about representation in my community.
Our voices are still going to be heard no matter what kind of obstacles try to come up against us to stop us from voting. We're still going to be standing our ground.
I see the effort that's being made to keep our communities from voting. So that makes me realize it's even more important, because if it wasn't important, they wouldn't be fighting to make sure we could vote.
This doesn't stop this year. This is a forever movement.
We're going to exert our power as a people, walk in our rightful place. We're going to change our communities, fight for our communities, and build our communities.
You and I had this conversation. What's up with you and fighting?
What do you mean me and fighting, man?
Because you.
I'm a lover.
No, what was it? We were talking, you like, yeah, I will fight somebody. You said that was a period where you would just, somebody would tick you off.
Oh, man.
And y'all would just.
Oh, yeah, I got triggers.
Like what, in a podcast or something?
Oh, yeah, that was unstable. The podcast was called Unstable.
Because we were talking and you were like, man, we're from this, the next thing I know.
Fought two members.
We fought. Yeah. Like physical.
Yeah, fisticuffs. Yeah, straight up like boom, 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 boom. Yeah. Yeah, it was. You know what, Roland?
Is that back to that tripolar? Is that what that?
That wasn't tripolar. That was, short man complex. that was me being, you know how it is with comedians, man. We with radio, with TV,
right?
You gotta go,
right?
You're in there, and sometimes, you're gonna say what's on your mind, and sometimes, a lot of times, I say it at the wrong time. It happened at NBA Entertainment League. I was playing basketball, and people know that I talk. Right. Joan and everybody. Well, one particular time we playing a game, and the dude who was shooting free throws, I said a joke about his mom, my mama joke, and I didn't know his mom had just passed away.
Right.
And like recent, and he snapped, and I had a Ron Artest moment. But it was just bad timing on what I said.
But you also didn't know.
I didn't know. But then when the story got back around, it was like, I knew, and I said I didn't give a damn. Like, that was far from the truth. So with the podcast, same thing. It was, I told my co-host, I'm going to hit you with a topic. We're going to keep it fresh on radio. Can you handle that? Yes. Boom. I hit him with this thing, and he snapped. And he apologized later, and we cool now. Ain't as cool as we used to be. Let's keep it 1,000. Because once you go fisticuffs, the friendship changes. It just does. So it's bad timing on my part, and maybe a bad reaction on his part, and we fought, and it made the podcast a little tough after that. But it was still fun. We still were professionals,
right?
And showed up and did our thing, but it just wasn't the same. It kind of did mess up the chemistry a little bit.
So how?
That was just two of the most recent.
Right, two of the most recent fights.
Fought my neighbor not too long ago too, last year. That was another shorter guy.
So when you talk about, let's talk about
time. Police a couple times too, but go ahead.
We talk about timing. We're now operating where a lot of comedians are just not feeling this era we're in now, with social media, with people with phones, and all this sort of stuff.
Right.
And and I've been one of the people that has always said that that if there's any place that has to remain pure and unfiltered, it's absolutely the comedy stage.
Absolutely.
Because I don't. Like folks sit here, with these college campuses and other people, and this is the way I look at it. And this woman literally told me, and I said, I'm sorry. I go to a comedy show fully expecting everybody to get talked about. I said, I'm not going to a keynote speech.
Right.
Like, I know what I'm going to.
Right.
So I'm not sensitive. I mean, I really don't. I don't.
It's funny you say that. Just a couple of weeks ago, I had an old black man try to rush the stage and whoop my ass. I was in, Virginia Beach? I think I was in Virginia Beach. And I was asking the gentleman, had he had his prostate exam yet? Because I do, in my act, I like, with that platform, I want to make sure black men go to the doctor.
Right.
Black men don't go to the doctor.
Right.
Right? So I was saying about how I had my prostate exam. Sir, have you had yours? His wife was like speaking for him and loud. And I was like, ma'am, I'm asking the gentleman. And she just kept going on loud. I said, ma'am. And I did the old Robert Harris joke, somebody please put something in my mouth, my zipper stuck.
Right.
And then 5 minutes later, I guess it sunk in later, because I'm in the middle of another joke, and he gets up and, you remember the scene in New Jack City when the old man was like, Nino!
Right.
He came to the stage like, don't ever tell my wife to suck your dick again. I'm like, what? That was 5 minutes ago. Did that just hit you? Don't ever tell my wife. I'm like, sir, I was trying to be nice and da-da-da. And
you're like, but she wouldn't shut up.
And I didn't even say it. I just motioned down here. I didn't even say it.
Right.
But you know what I mean. I implied it. And it was just like, yo, you had a comedy show. She was disrupting the show to the point to where people were like, hey, ma'am, calm down, be quiet. And she didn't, so I went there, and then it sunk in later, and I had the whole table put out. And I normally don't do that, but the young guy at the table, I thought it was his father. It wasn't. He was like, I'm sorry, man, I'm sorry. I said, maybe his blood sugar high or low. Maybe he need to eat a Snickers candy bar because he just snapped. But this whole culture of, cancel culture, man, only two people can cancel me, God and myself. If my fan base rock with me, if I flub and make it say something that's sideways, you're not going to judge my whole 29-year career off of one joke or one flub line.
Right.
And we had a guy in office who had a whole bunch of bullshit going on, and he still was elected, and still, unfortunately, relevant to this day. So I saw Damon Wayans not too long ago, man, in Miami at the Improv, and he was just, man, funny, raw, uncut, truthful, and I was just like, what? That's stand-up comedy.
Right.
That's that shit. The reason why we got into it. Lenny Bruce's, the Richard Pryor's, Chris Rock's, and I told him that. Paul Mooney. I told him that. I said, hey man, that shit was. He said, man, he had a conversation with Chappelle, and they said, this cancel culture thing is getting crazy, and we got to take the mic back. And I was like, yeah. And it needs to be more comedians who just, I think what got lost, Roland, is the intent. Sometimes you can say something that's vulgar, and then the intent behind it is to da-da-da. But when we do stuff, the intent is just fun and games, having fun, joking about it. No one's safe.
Because I had a woman
who... It's the intent that gets lost.
I had a woman who, we were discussing this, and she said, yeah, but why do you have to get personal? I said, that's what it is. And I started walking through. I told her, I said, you ever seen Don Rickles?
Woo!
I said, Don Rickles insulted everybody.
Everybody, we say in St. Louis.
Did not matter. Everybody. He insulted everybody. I said, Don Rickles was funny as hell.
Yeah. And his best friend was a black guy.
I said, now, that was his act.
That was his stick.
I said, if you went to a Don Rickles show.
Don't be sensitive. I opened my show with that. I say, look, I'm uncut, unplugged. If you're sensitive, this ain't the show for you.
Yeah,
I just emails and comment cards, Cancel him. Cancel these nuts. I'm sorry. You ain't canceling me.
It bothers me, man, because I get it. I get, to your point, you get what the point is. The point is, and like I said something before, I said, comedians say stuff that we really want to say, that we can't say, but the point is, it's a lot of stuff comedians say that's truthful as hell.
Right.
But they make it funny.
Right.
And we laugh because we also
think the same thing.
Right. And I'm like,
first of all, you gotta understand comedians. Most of us are dark, twisted individuals on the inside. Something's wrong with us on the inside. We're broken. We do comedy because we want people to laugh with us. We need that. Whatever void that is that we have, we want that filled with laughter. A lot of us make a lot of people laugh, but we don't laugh ourselves. So it's therapy for us. We do comedy to bring laughter, to bring light to our dark insides. That's why you see some comedians with depression, so many comedians on drugs, comedian overdose or whatever. We're dark creatures, but that dark, our comedy brings light to that darkness. It gives us a little bit of light when we see an audience laughing, or we make even one person laugh. That's good for us, and we're kind of control freaks. Right? We want to control. I heard a statement when it says, we do comedy because we're so afraid of getting laughed at, we do stand-up to control the laughter. And a lot of that is true for most comedians. I know it's true for me. I'm just going to be honest. I can't speak for every other comedian, but as you analyze and look at comedians and talk to them, our community, it's like that. That's why comedians, can make such great dramatic actors if they take their comedy ego out the way and allow them to tap into that dark side. When you see comedians do dramatic work, I'm not surprised that they're good dramatically. It's a lot of my work has been dramatic more than comedy. You look at Richard Pryor, who has some dramatic work. When you look at his stuff, you look at Eddie Murphy. Yep. People thought, Dreamgirls was the first time they saw Eddie dramatic. No, in the movie Life.
Yep.
Cicely Tyson was in Life. She got completely cut out. There's some scenes. She played Eddie Murphy's mom. There's some scenes in that movie where her and Eddie go off and they talk. And this is before Dreamgirls, and I was like, wow, Eddie got some. I didn't know he had that. I knew he had range because he was characters, but he went deep with that. I was like, wow.
Well, Robin Williams.
Billy Crystal, even Kevin Hart. I did a movie with Kevin Hart, independent movie. Russ Parr, a syndicated radio DJ, did a movie called The Last Stand, and Kevin Hart plays this comic who's a ventriloquist who has a meltdown with his dummy, And back then I said, ooh, if Kevin ever decides to go dramatic, which he did in a recent movie he released, he's gonna be tight because he was able to take his comedy ego and tap into that dark side, and that's what we have to do. You know, and then that's what makes, you know, comedians who act, who make themselves vulnerable, great actors. Marlon Wayans, another one who taps into that dark side and does great work.
The
Whoopi Goldberg.
Yep. The
Monique.
Yeah,
which
did
impressions.
Yep, absolutely.
Funny, but it was able to tap into that dark side.
The art of, not the art, the science. When you talk about the craft, one of the things that I've had other conversations with comedians, what drives them crazy, and we saw this a lot with the second iteration of Def Jam, and knowing you probably try to blame it on Joe. When you had,
no, Joe was great.
When you had this generation of comedians who just came out just cussing, and there was nothing there. It was, and I remember who was I talking to? We was a group of us and several comedians, and they were saying that's not comedy.
Right.
That you've got to put the work in the
Right.
craft. When you came to the DC Improv, we were talking backstage, and
That's right.
and you went on with this big ass legal pad.
Uh-huh.
And your pen, and you said, "All right, y'all, let y'all know I'm working through some stuff."
Right.
So if I go back and look at my notepad, just understand that.
Right.
So, walk us through what is your process in terms of, it's not just like, oh, just pops into a head. What is your process as you are putting your thing together, putting your routine together, your act together? How you going through that?
Well, first of all, I used to never come on stage with a notepad. And I thought, you know, even in a comedy club, I mean, that's the show. You do that work before you get there. But then I saw some of my heroes do it. And I'm like, whoa, I saw Robin Williams do it at the Comedy Store. I saw George Carlin do it at the Comedy Store. I saw Dick Gregory do it in a live show, taping a show, and he had his notepad. And I'm like, wow. And then Dion Cole, you made it popular back on Def Jam back in the day when we used to do the whole check off thing.
Right.
That was he killed with that. So I've seen those. I'm like, you know what? It's okay.
Right.
It's okay if these greats done it.
Well, hell, TV anchors have no cards.
That's true.
With the questions on it.
That's true. So I started doing that, and it also people got to understand what a comedy club is. Comedy club is the gym. That's where you go work out. That's where you work out that stuff that you're trying out and trimming the fat off of a joke or putting more on top of a joke. And that's the gym. That's where you work it out. Then you go to these other platforms, these streaming networks, and Amazon Prime or the other competitors, because I'm Amazon Prime guy. I got messed that money up.
Drop.
These other platforms, all those late night shows, the talk shows at night. That's the gym. That's the beach. That's when you take your shirt off and you flex a little bit. But in the comedy clubs, that's the nuts and bolts. The Laugh Factory is called Laugh Factory for a reason. Because what do you do in factories? You build shit.
Right.
And that's what comedy clubs are. We're building our act. Some people confuse a comedy club show with a theater show or an arena show.
Got it.
They're not the same.
Don't wait till November 8th. We can vote today, y'all. Early vote started this week.
We're on Savannah State University's campus. We will be dorm storming today, giving out treats for everyone. We hope to see everyone at the polls when it comes to November.
If you believe we got power, let them know. Make some noise. Put a fist up. I need to see a fist in the air because we got power. Come on, you put it up. Come get your shirt. We're out here in the streets of Savannah, Georgia. James, do not forget to go vote. I got you. If we vote the right people in, we can make a change. We can get these resources in our community.
I am a woman, and it is important that we have the say-so of what we want to do with our bodies.
We're concentrating on entrepreneurism, providing young people with resources and training that they need in order to change their trajectories. We want Black down.
Democracy is on the ballot. Voting rights is on the ballot. Voting suppression is on the ballot. I am most passionate about those three combined because they all impact each other.
Savannah is my home. I care about my community, and I care about representation in my community.
Our voices are still going to be heard no matter what kind of obstacles try to come up against us to stop us from voting. We're still going to be standing our ground.
I see the effort that's being made to keep our communities from voting. So that makes me realize it's even more important, because if it wasn't important, they wouldn't be fighting to make sure we couldn't vote.
This doesn't stop this year. This is a forever movement.
We're going to exert our power as a people, walk in our rightful place. We're going to change our communities, fight for our communities, and build our communities.
I hope we can take some time to talk about my morning show. We'll get out of here. But I don't know what your clock is on, but it looked like somebody gave you a signal, and I saw you do some shit like that.
No one gave me a signal. Well, the audio dude was giving me the signal about the helicopter and wanted me to stop. So what I did was I integrated the helicopter into the story, so therefore it became a part of the show.
And wasn't it beautiful? And while you're on that,
what that means is, Mike, let's see, Mike, let me show you. When you talk about MCs, Mike, I'm the fucking MC.
And you're doing a damn fine job. And let me
just
say
so
this,
you understand.
I knew that you owned all this equipment, but I was gonna ask, did you bring these niggas too? So do you own the equipment?
Well, no, it's because I don't allow the N word. So yes, I did bring these brothers.
Oh, these brothers.
I did, yes. Okay. I did bring these brothers. I brought.
Well, I'm glad I didn't wear the shirt I was gonna wear. And I'd like to apologize for that word. Okay.
But I really do, man. I really do worry that we're gonna have a generation. I'm telling y'all,
Too much
they want Michael's ass. I'm telling you, Mike. We had no problem when Richard Lawson was here, Glenn Turman was here, Mario Van Peebles was here.
Then you ain't hear nothing.
Jackée and Bill Duke and former crackhead ghetto ass.
Oh damn!
And we've got multiple helicopters.
The project shit.
We
I
got the
track
LAPD and the sheriff's office helicopters flying over this house.
Them my fans, man. They love me so much. We heard my guy went in there, you know. I remember when I smoked weed. I remember I was in D.C. coming back to Baltimore, and we were smoking. The whole car was full of smoke, and we got to one of them 6-way turns, and it said no turn on the red, but I was so high. I turned on the red, and the police was sitting right at the corner. They hit the lights, rolled right up on me. I know we going to jail. They walked towards the car. Michael Colyar, what are you doing turning on the red? I said, oh man, I'm lost. They took me to where I was going. They said, just follow me, and drove me to where I was going. They ain't say shit about the weed or nothing, you know. Now the shit is legal.
So what I'm trying to figure out is, and you clearly had to be high.
Yes.
Because I've never embarked on a 6-way turn.
Oh yeah, the 6 is 6-way. It's the corner. Nigga. I mean, excuse me. We're not using that word.
I let you finish the story, but I was like.
But there was it was 6 corners. 6 corners. So there were 6 different ways you could have gone on that street. Starting from the center, you could have went 6 ways. Yeah. You never heard of? No shit. Okay. Then I was pretty. It was good. It was that sticky, yicky. That's when I was still smoking with the professional.
That one like DuPont Circle? Was it like a circle? It had 6 different.
It was something like that, but I don't know if it's DuPont or
because I
Chevrolet or I don't know who.
I've never. I mean, I've seen the Star of David. I've seen 5. I've never seen 6.
You saw the Star of David.
No, I mean I've seen 5 points of a star, but I've never seen 6 corners.
I see. I ain't never seen it.
See, as an interviewer, I listen to what. The person, I'm just saying.
Let me just say, as a haberdasher, I ain't never seen a brother wear a feather, a bow of feather in his jacket. Now I knew you when you wore the ascot.
Oh, no.
I've
I've been wearing it. No. So let me tell you what happened.
You been doing that for a while?
Oh, yes. Let me tell you what happened.
And ain't nobody said shit?
Oh, no, he said shit.
Damn.
You know why?
May I be the first?
No, you can't.
All right, go ahead.
You can't. Here's why.
All right.
Because even Obama tried to say some shit, and I checked him.
All right.
So here's what happened. So
That's why we get a helicopter. Secret Service been on your ass ever since that day.
So every year at Essence Festival, Steve Harvey and I would have this pocket square battle going.
Oh, okay.
And so this probably was, I think next year's the 10th anniversary of this. It probably was like 2012. I was sitting here, I was at a St. Jude fundraiser in DC. And this dude walked up and there was this green, yellow, purple feather in his pocket. And I went, what's that? And he said, he said, they're selling these things, money go to St. Jude. And I said, shit, my sister's a designer. She can make that shit. She an artist. I said, damn, a feather. I said, shit, a feather pocket square. I said, oh, hell yeah. So I then went, I took a picture of it. So I went, I hit my sister, I said, can you make these? Now, mind you, my grandmother had a catering business. So I was used to when you would have the stem,
right,
you get that green tape would fly for fly.
Right, yeah, exactly.
So I saw the hall growing up for years. So I hit my sister, I was like, can you make these? She's like, yeah. I said, so send me 3 or 4. So she sent me 3 or 4 samples. And I was like, no, that's too long, cut this, I want this. So then she sent me about 20. I said, oh, I got something for Steve's ass. Like, Essence! So then I'm getting ready for Essence. So I got all my suits laid out. I got the shirts laid out.
Right.
Ascots lined out.
Right.
I got the shoes and the sock. I took a picture on my bed. And I posted, I said, Steve Harvey, I got something for your ass. So I was on the radio talking about, I said, I'm tweeting out. People, and they were like, what the hell? So man, I sat there and then folks like, what? I said, it was like feather pocket square. And so then I run into Steve, man, he hollered. He thought, him and nephew Tommy, they thought I just had found some feathers and just stuffed them in the pocket.
They didn't know this was a plan.
See, that's what you gotta understand. Steve's an Omega, Tommy's a Kappa. I'm an Alpha. There's a reason we are better than them. See, so they thought I had just.
And that's the reason don't neither one of you talk to me, because I ain't in none of that. Okay.
That's why they grabbed some. They thought I said, no, I ain't grabbed no damn feathers. Steve was like, what? And I had all different variations, different colors, different types. And so all these brothers, they like, who the hell wearing some feather pocket square? I said, first of all, I ain't never dressed for a dude. I dress for women.
Come on.
I said, and not one woman said, feather pocket square. Here's what the woman do. She said, ooh, I like that. Okay, when a woman is doing that, she's standing right here. See, dudes running their mouths.
Let me just say this for you and all them Negroes. I am the originator of this fashion shit. What nobody, especially comedians, no comedians was wearing suits before me. I was wearing suits when Steve Harvey was still wearing hammer pants. Okay, so they started biting off style and shirts and jackets because I come up in the 50s and the 60s.
I got you.
Where people used to dress.
Now, see,
and so I was used to that.
See, for me, my daddy dressed, and so I was used to that. But I had to hit him with something different with the feather pocket square. So, and all these cats like, man, who wear that shit? And I was like, Bill Maher. One time I did a show. Yeah, he has had me back since then.
I did it one time too.
It's been 7 years. He was like, oh no. He said, no, that's I couldn't wear that. I was like, well, Bill, you clearly don't have the same sense of style that I do. And so we go to the White House, and so I got the ascot on, I got the feather pocket square. And so we in line, and so we go in. So all of a sudden, so we get to you know how they announce you. And Obama goes, really? Feather pocket square? He said, not just the ascot, but the feather pocket square. Now while he's talking, Michelle's, oh my God, that's really nice. And I went, see, this ain't for you. It's for her.
Yeah.
Florida. He
Wow.
said, man, come take this picture. See, that's the deal. I had to let them guys know, see, you ain't the audience.
Wow.
So that's where the Feather Pocket Squares came.
And that's the way it should be too. Men should actually dress for women. Women should dress for men. I would have conversations with my woman sometimes about stuff that looked good on her, and so, but I don't like that. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm the one who's going to be looking at you. Don't you want to wear something that I like that's going to tantalize
That what she told
me?
you?
Yeah. And no, what I said to her is, oh, that's,
gotcha.
I would like this. And she's like, well, I don't really like, I would never wear that. And I'm like, if I just told you I love it, how can you say you would never wear it? If I tell you I love it on you, you should go get 10 of them in every color.
I can't go with that.
Oh, I got to go with that. I think, like, I dress for the woman, like you just said.
But if your wife wanted you to wear something and that was just not you, would you wear it?
No.
That's my point.
Absolutely not. I would not. That's a good point.
Because my ex did that, which is why she ex. She wanted me to wear vests. Now you seen Sid.
You should leave anybody who wants you to wear vests.
Now she wanted me, and I was like, no. And now Sid has vests, but they really jackets with no sleeves. They really jackets with no sleeves. Okay, so she wanted me to wear, and I was like, no. And man, so we in the car, and so she bugging the shit out of me. I said, look, I don't like vests. I had multiple three-piece suits, vests discarded. Man, pissing me off. I said, you know what, fine, let's go to the store. We go to the mall. We walk in. I said, we try on these 2-3 vests. So they bring them on, I put them on. I say, you see how this shit look? She's like, oh yeah, you're right. I'm like, yeah, I know I'm right. I said, first of all, I ain't never had a woman dress me. Daddy knew what he was doing. Daddy raised me, he raised his son. Mama never had to dress us. I said, Daddy knew what he was doing. I said, so I need you to understand, I need you to stay in your closet.
You gonna stay in your closet.
Don't come to my closet. Because see, here's what she didn't understand. I have a short torso, longer lower body. Vests, I also have a barrel chest. Vests are normally, look better, slender frame, not wide frame. So I knew the vest did not accentuate me.
I think that
so
rule
why am
works.
I gonna wear something that doesn't accentuate me? So I'm like, I knew what the hell I liked.
I think that rule works most of the time, but I think flexibility is also important. And, well, you can say all you want, but I think flexibility is important.
So give me something. Give me something clothing.
I'll give you
that
something.
You feel just does not work for you, and you would be uncomfortable wearing it. And then if you're uncomfortable wearing it, you're now thinking about it while you're wearing it. Is there something? Is there a color? Is there a fabric? Is there something dealing with clothing that you like? Look, that's just not me. Like,
me. I'm not as stubborn as that. If my woman really wanted to see me in a thing, unless it was a dress or tutu or some shit, if she really wanted me to see me, if she said, oh baby, I love that on you, even if it wasn't me, I would be flexible enough to give her that. I love lingerie. I love the stockings and garter belts. That ain't her. She ain't gonna wear that. But if I love that like I love that, you telling me you can't take a night or two to slide into that because that ain't you and you feel uncomfortable.
How about this here?
That's why they become exes. That's why they
Okay, how about this here? Can you wear athletic shoes with your dress pants?
Absolutely. It's what I do right now.
Can you wear? I can't do it.
That's what I do on stage from now on. I never wear dress shoes on stage. I'm 64. I know I don't look a day over 59, but I'm 64, and now I only wear gym shoes and suits.
Can't do it. Can you wear a baseball cap with a suit?
I could do that.
You could?
Yeah, because I have some that's made out of Harlem, and they look like crowns. And a baseball cap with the emblem.
Can't do it.
Can't do it.
Can't do it.
And you couldn't do it if your woman said, Daddy, that looks so good on you.
Could you wear a Jeffrey Osborne throwback and Kim now wears a sheer shirt?
I wouldn't want to. Let me just say I wouldn't want to. But if my baby said, Daddy, I get so hot when you wear that, I'm wearing it. I'm wearing it in all colors.
See, I
put it on. See,
I can't.
I got to have flexibility.
No, here's why I can't. Here's why I can't. Because if there's something that I wanted her to wear and she wasn't comfortable in it, see, I want her to be comfortable in it. I want her, when she walks.
Here's how I think though.
When she walks
I
out.
want her to be comfortable in it because I like it.
No, see.
Yeah, no. And that's about give and take in relationships.
But see, I think that's hard. I don't think so. No, here's why. 'Cause I think that to me, it's the equivalent of wearing a pair of shoes that don't fit. Or that just, it's uncomfortable. I'm a firm believer. So here's one thing. So, my wife would drive. My wife, not that old when she gone, but
not that old.
My wife, yeah, not that. So the one for the last 20 years. So it drove her crazy the first 2 years we got married, because we would go out and they would say, she's like, well, what's the dress for this event? I said, it's casual. And then she would see me and I put this on. She's like, I thought you told me it was casual. I said, it is casual.
That's casual for you.
I said, it's casual for me. She put on jeans and tennis shoes. Now here's my whole deal. I'm not gonna say, you putting them jeans and tennis shoes on. She comfortable. I'm not gonna say, you know what, babe, I would really like for you to put on something a little bit dressier. No. Don't matter. If we went to a black tie, we go, like, a lot of times she'll ask me about the dress or the shoes, and I give my opinion on it, whatever. But the other times I'm like, are you comfortable? She's like, well, I really like this, but what about this? I said, oh, which one do you really like? My most important thing is, if you are comfortable, if you can walk out there, man, your full comfort and just, I'm like, go with that. That's
for
what I mean.
Mr. Rowland, for me, I find that selfish. I think that
selfish for her to be comfortable?
Yeah, I think relationships are about reciprocation, they're about give and take. So I don't think it's about rigidity. This is what I do, this is the only thing I can do to make me comfortable. If my woman say, but baby, will you try this? I'm not gonna say, no, I ain't gonna try that, because that don't make me comfortable. I'm gonna say, baby, you really like that? That ain't my thing, but you really like that? Well, let me go and try to make it look good for you. Because that's giving her some of the stuff she wants. I want her to give me some of the stuff I want. And that's why my perfect example is lingerie. That she ain't going out on the street being uncomfortable. She being uncomfortable for a couple of hours in the room with me if she got to be uncomfortable. But it's something that I know is going to arouse me. If she knows that's going to arouse me, how could she say, nah, I ain't doing that because I ain't comfortable. I'm just going to wear my damn pajamas.
But see, what arouses me is her being comfortable. See, that's the difference.
Yeah, so
for
the
me,
other 98% of the time, I make sure she's comfortable.
Right, so
but if she can't give me 2% of give and take, I don't want to be with that person.
No, I don't even want her. I want her. If she says to me, look, I ain't wearing, look, I'm wearing them heels. I'm wearing these flats. Kobo, do you? I think you look great in them heels, but you ain't got to wear them heels for me. See, I'm
gonna say, baby, I know you don't feel comfortable in them heels, but what happens to me when you wear them heels? Oh my Lord! And you got them fishnets on them, and you got the garter with the real garter belt, and then the breasty things, and they pushed all up the things, they're pointing at me like I'm their favorite. Mama, do something to me, make me want to go and buy you something cute.
I give a perfect example. I hate. Have you seen them sundresses? Women have, but they cut off right under the breast.
Right.
You could have the skinniest woman, she looked pregnant. I hate them dresses.
What I hate is oversized women who will wear the top and the bottom and let the fat part stick out.
See,
that's a whole different thing.
My wife loves wearing them dresses, and I would tell her, oh, I hate that damn dress. Your ass look pregnant. And now I would crack on it. She like, it don't matter, I'm comfortable. And I joke about it, but it's like, now, would I ever buy her one? Hell no. I said, you want that dress, you gotta buy that dress yourself. No, I hate those dresses.
Well, I'm never gonna tell her the stuff she's wearing I don't like. But I am going to tell her the things I would love to see her.
So she put something on and she said, Michael, what you think? And if you don't like it, it don't work. You ain't gonna say it don't work?
I wouldn't know. I've never seen anything on her that I didn't like.
Oh, I'm talking if something. So if
okay, so like let's say she had to wear box on her head, I would say, I don't think I like that. No, I don't like that. I don't like that. You know.
See. She says.
Now I know you into boxes, so that's a whole different thing. But I'm just saying.
She puts on these shoes. And then and you just don't think it works. You just don't think it works with the combination.
Oh, I don't do that.
You gonna let it flow?
Yeah, I don't do that kind of thing.
Huh?
I don't do that kind of thing. I don't look at what she's.
No, if she asked you.
Oh, if she asked me, if she asked me to give my opinion, because I have a dash.
And how you gonna
I
give
dress more than I joke.
And how you gonna give it? Cause.
Well, I'm gonna tell her that. I don't think that works. I think that's interesting, but I don't think that.
So you nice with it?
Yeah, but I'm not gonna say, that shit fucked up. I'm not gonna ever do that because that's her taste.
See, mine is
Like I hope she wouldn't wear no crazy shit, but I see people wearing stuff in the street and I like, that motherfucker, they ain't got no friends.
See, hold up.
That motherfucker ain't no friends. If you had a friend.
Why do you use literally the exact phrase that I use? Anybody, that's the exact phrase. When I see some crazy shit, I like, she ain't got no friends. She ain't got no friends.
She ain't got no friends.
So okay, let me ask you.
If you had a friend, your friend ain't letting you go out looking like that.
I can't. No. I can't handle it. I can't. I just think I'm just a firm believer. I'm just a firm believer in a person being comfortable with what they do, what they wear. And again, my deal is if this is casual for me, don't be asking me to put on something else and change something else. That's what I'm saying. I don't even. My wife does not buy me clothes. Let me tell you something. Okay,
my girl won't let me buy her clothes. She don't allow that shit.
No.
I could get her a pair of shoes I think are awesome. No. She don't like them because I bought them.
No,
I'm taking that back. I hope you brought the receipt. That's going back.
Mine know I got taste. I can buy.
Oh.
I can buy. She know.
Man don't know I got taste.
So I got this one for here. I got this one for you. Has your wife ever bought you something that you refuse to wear? You said, I'm not wearing that.
No, she don't buy me clothes. She doesn't buy me clothes, so I've never had an instance where she bought me something that I wouldn't wear.
My wife bought me 3 of them striped Brooks Brothers ties. And I was like, okay.
And you ain't wearing.
I went on the radio and talked about why I wasn't gonna wear them ties. No, my daddy, she gave my daddy. I was like, I can't stand those Brooks Brothers ties. I said, I ain't wearing them ties. So I ain't wearing them ties. I think that was the last thing she bought me. Cause
and then you let her go?
No.
Oh.
No, we've been married 20 years. I hate those ties. And that's what, and folk were like, Roland, make her happy and wear it. No, because I'm gonna be unhappy wearing it. We take a picture, I won't be smiling.
You're a different type of.
I'll be mad. I just like.
You're a different type of gentleman.
And again, my daddy loved them.
Yeah?
Oh, my daddy loved them.
Yeah, but she never buys clothes for me, so I've never had that problem. I don't have a wife. I have a girlfriend that I've been with for about 9 years. But she's never bought me clothes. And I bought clothes for her several times, and each time she's like, please don't buy me no clothes.
Now, was that because, see how you with her 9 years, but you don't know her taste, which means that if you should know what her taste is.
I should. I'm a failure. But no, I do know her taste, but I also know mine.
Right.
So when I buy things for her that I would like to see her in.
See, there you go. See that?
Yeah, but if she say no, then it's cool. I give her the receipt. She could take it back, but I'm not gonna force it on her. No, you gotta wear this because I think it look good. I buy it because I think, oh, baby, you'll look good in this. And she said, no, I ain't gonna never wear that. And I said, that's the end of it. Here's a receipt.
Whereas,
bring me my change. Please bring me my change because I'm gonna need to get me something cute for myself.
Study what she where.
And see, and that's why y'all lasted for 20 years.
And then I can study that, so therefore I then know what to buy. So therefore my shit don't get rejected like you.
No one said you're not a genius. No one said
I'm just saying.
No one said it. No one said me, I'm a mere human. And so what I'm stuck doing is giving it a shot in the dark. I don't know.
Over the window seats. These are the only bins that will accommodate larger rollerboards.
They put 10 in here?
10, and you don't come out till you die. And you eat here, you poop 10.
Oh my God.
So what?
Hatred on the streets, a horrific scene, a white nationalist rally that descended into deadly violence.
White people are losing their damn minds.
As an angry pro-Trump mob storms the U.S. Capitol, we've seen shootings.
We're about to see the rise of what I call white minority resistance. We have seen white folks in this country who simply cannot tolerate black folks voting.
I think what we're seeing is the inevitable result of violent denial.
This is part of American history. Every time that people of color have made progress, whether real or symbolic, there has been what Carol Anderson at Emory University calls white rage as a backlash.
This is the rise of the Proud Boys and the Boogaloo Boys. America, there's going to be more of this.
Here's all the Proud Boys, guys.
This country is getting increasingly racist in its behaviors and its attitudes because of the fear of white people.
The fear that they're taking our jobs, they're taking our resources, they're taking our women. This is white fear. When you think back, we mentioned it earlier when you talked about when you and Spike had the beef.
Yeah.
Do you think back and say, you know what, I or we should have taken that and said, let's do it one-on-one, as opposed to allowing it to play out in the future? When I interviewed Spike, he had a very public spat with Tyler Perry. And then Tyler said they later, Spike flew to Atlanta, they sat down and met. And so when Tyler dedicated his studio, one of the sounds they did is named after Spike Lee.
Nice.
And I think that's also the deal as well, recognizing that, you know what, I'm not about to participate, about to give them clickbait. And where they're feasting off of us sitting here battling.
That's right.
As opposed to us actually talking and sharing these ideas and issues. When you think about that, are there moments where you say, I was 19 and this is where I should have listened more or sought out someone at that level and said, talk to me about what the issue that you have?
I think that, number one, Spike Lee is an icon. You know, let me make this very clear. You know, if people ever track what I've said about Spike, probably not much, right? The crazy thing is, Spike and I have only met twice.
Really?
Only met twice. But people ask me about Spike Lee all my life. And being a 19-year-old film, I'll tell you even the 2 times that I met him. The first time was, I was at the premiere of, I think it was Jungle Fever, with Miles Davis. And then Terry Williams, my publicist, so she set us up to meet. So I met him. I have a picture with me, Spike, Miles Davis, and Mario Van Peebles, right? It's the first time I met Spike. The second time I met Spike was we were at this post-production facility. And it was just one-on-one. And of course, as a filmmaker, who doesn't admire Spike Lee? I'm born and raised in Brooklyn. He's born and raised in Brooklyn.
He started indie?
I started indie, right? And so I was 19, I was full of vigor, I was the Brooklyn, filmmaker. And of course, when you get older, it's like, this is a statesman, right? This is somebody who, he was in his mid-30s at the time, but somebody that I looked up to. Of course, I looked up to Spike Lee. Of course, who didn't? I mean, he's a genius. But then also, I was this kid from Brooklyn,
right?
That felt like,
give me my damn respect.
I made this, this creative art, right, that people are responding to. And it would have been great if we had the opportunity to sit one-on-one. But I've never, there was another time, there was another time where we were on the cover of the New York Times Magazine. It was me, Spike, great late John Singleton, Mario Van Peebles, the Hudlin brothers, Ernest Dickerson, and Charles Lang. It was the only other time I saw Spike. After that, I've never seen the brother in 20-some years.
Was there a conversation? When y'all was one-on-one, did y'all actually talk?
No, I can't even recall. No, I can't even recall that. I think a lot of it back in the day was like this media thing, because he was hot, I was hot. It turned into something, and I can't even remember the whole what it was about. But I've never had an opportunity one-on-one like you and I are sitting together, even to have a conversation with
Wow.
People don't realize that I probably have met Spike, like I just mentioned, probably 3 times in my life, and we've never talked. But he has gone on to say things about me and on TV shows and articles and things like that. And
especially for 2 guys being from Brooklyn, same spot, same thing. Anthony, bring my phone. So I mean, that's crazy.
But, yeah, people don't realize that probably seen Spike Lee 3 times in my entire life.
See, it's like me. Look, I'm from Houston.
Yeah.
And if there's somebody if there's someone who's in my space who's from H-Town, I'm gonna track them down.
Right.
Because that's just, you have a natural connection. You have a natural thing.
Right.
And then especially if that was this sort of
this big hoo-ha,
back and forth.
Right.
And it would be very interesting to hear, because with him teaching,
right,
and now you teaching, I mean, it'd be very interesting. That'd be very interesting to me. What he would, first of all, what the 2 of you would have to say. Now that you're sort of operating in the same space.
Yeah, I mean,
that would be very interesting to me, because like I say, what you're doing right now, that would be a trip.
Yeah, I mean, look,
Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Spike.
What's up, babe?
So I'm in LA right now. I got a one-on-one series for my network, Black Star Network. And I'm interviewing Matty Rich.
What's going on,
and
brother?
Matty Rich said in all of these years, y'all have never actually sat down for a one-on-one, just learning, because now he's teaching. And I said, really, 2 cats, Brooklyn, independent? And I said, how? Now he's singing your praises and everything. I said, how?
Well, let me just say this, that.
Well, y'all gonna sit down and no, I just told him, I said, it'd be amazing. I said, just to be able to chat and trade notes.
Well, he knows my office is.
Hey, I would.
He right here.
I would love to sit down and talk, but it's been a while, and it's a pleasure to hear your voice, brother.
Yeah, same here. Well, I'm in the same place, Fort Greene, baby.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I'm a firm believer in people talking. I just think, again, because it will be great for with him. What you say, American Film Institute?
Yeah.
When you teach it as well, man, y'all two now teaching, and the stuff he was telling me what he's doing with video games is crazy. Doing the video games, so. And so I would just say this.
It was good, brother. Good to see you. Hey, I'm doing good, man. I'm in LA. I'm in LA, but I was living in Paris, France for a number of years. You know, doing. Yeah, Je parle un peu français, bro. Je parle un peu. But you look good, brother. Just wanted to. I'm so happy you did this. Like I was telling Roland that I haven't seen you. I think I may have met you maybe 3 times in my life. But you've always been, somebody I've looked up to as a young filmmaker. So I want you to know that.
I appreciate it. And also, Roland, give me my number, okay? Email. I'll give it to you.
All right, we'll do.
All right?
All right.
Let's get up.
All right.
My brother, love to see that happen. Always good seeing you. And you're looking clean with the gray.
No more cheat.
Huh?
No more cheat.
Beat the Red Sox.
No more cheat.
Beat the Red Sox. All right, baby.
All right.
I'll holler at you.
All right. That was nice, bro.
We gonna hook that up.
Yeah, that was. I appreciate that.
Go hook it up.
Man.
I'm gonna see his email, send his number.
Yeah, I appreciate that, bro. That's a big moment, man. That was like, man, that was good. Got me all choked up. That's good.
Well, I'm all about connecting.
Appreciate that, bro.
All about connecting.
It hurt me as a filmmaker to he's always been an idol, but thank you, bro.
Well, I want y'all to talk.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Matty, I'm glad we finally got a chance to sit down and chop it up, baby.
My man.
Appreciate it.
Man, that's love, bro. Thank you. Thank you,
problem,
Roland.
baby.
Meant a lot.
When you talk about blackness and what happens in black culture, we're about covering these things that matter to us, speaking to our issues and concerns.
This is a genuine people-powered movement.
There's a lot of stuff that we're not getting. You get it, and you spread the word.
We wish to plead our own cause, to long have others spoken for us. We cannot tell our own story if we can't pay for it. This is about covering us. Invest in black-owned media. Your dollars matter. We don't have to keep asking them to cover our stuff. So please support us in what we do, folks. We want to hit 2,000 people, $50 this month, raise $100,000. We're behind 100,000, so we want to hit that. Y'all money makes this possible. Check some money orders. Go to P.O. Box 57196, Washington, D.C. 20037-0196. The Cash App is $RM Unfiltered. PayPal is R Martin Unfiltered. Venmo is RM Unfiltered. Zelle is Roland@RolandSMartin.com.